Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with EFL Championship predictions, game week 38. So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, there's not every single fixture that should be played in this fixture due to obviously FA Cup quarterfinals and that. Obviously, there's a lot of Championship teams still in it. Obviously, Burnley, Sheffield United, and Blackburn Rovers. Obviously, did do my predictions to the FA Cup games earlier, so do make sure you check them out after the stream if you haven't already. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, let's get into the games. So yeah, let's do that. Let me just share the screen. Hopefully, I know it's going to freeze at the end when I show my screen because it always does. But hopefully at the start it doesn't. That would be great. So let's see what's going to go on here. But I'll go through some comments. Hanno's predictions, I'll go through them at the end. But a lot of them games, mate, are not being played. 3 of them are not being played because like Cup quarterfinals. So yeah. Blue Terrace Boys TV. Now, I weren't 20 minutes late last time. I was only like 5. Where are you getting 20 from, bro? I can't lie. Unless your notification come up very late. I wasn't that late, trust me. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So obviously the first game, my team, Luton Town, taking on Sunderland away. Now, I am going to this. I'm privileged to be going to this, to be honest, because this is always an away day people talk about. Obviously, they do have the biggest stadium in the league as well. And yeah, obviously Luton doing very well. My last loss was Burnley, which was obviously a while ago now. And even then, we probably didn't deserve to lose out. I'd say we at least deserved to draw. Sunderland on the other hand, they've sort of dropped off. But throughout their whole season, I'd say it's a good season for them, given it is their first season back in the Championship. They do currently sit 12th place, but the points are close. They are on 52 points, 8 points off of the playoff places. Taking on Luton, obviously 4th. Obviously, we are in the shout for potentially get 2nd. I think if Middlesbrough are, who are obviously above us, I think we definitely are as well because, like I said, we are only a point off Middlesbrough. And like I said, Luton very good away. If we do win tomorrow, we will be back up to the best away form in the league. Sunderland, they've been a bit iffy recently. Obviously, their last game, they did lose to Sheffield United, who are obviously trying to confirm 2nd place at home. Their last 2 home games, they've took defeats, actually. Very heavy defeats as well. Well, not very heavy. Sorry, the game before that was a very heavy defeat. 5-1 to Stoke. And obviously they lost the last one, 2-1. And obviously we're just grinding out the 1-0 wins, at times. But I do think this one will have goals. And I do think Luton will win, man, due to our away form. We're better on form as well than Sunderland. I'm going to back us to win, man. And hopefully I'll go there and we do get a win. I wouldn't mind the draw, though. I'll be honest. I would take the draw. But, the way we're going, I think we can go there and win, man. I really do. So I'm going to back us to win that one 2-1. That is my prediction for that one. Big up Stephen in the chat. It's a big up Ty. Most informed team in the Championship we are. Exactly. We're doing very well, mate. Doing very well. Like I said, the last loss was Burnley. We didn't even, I don't think we deserved to lose that. It should have been a draw, to be honest. And then again, there's no shame in that because it's Burnley that we played, best team in the league. So, yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next game, which is Blackpool versus Coventry. Now, Blackpool obviously got a very emphatic win midweek against QPR, which I was surprised about. I did have a feeling Blackpool were going to win, but then last minute I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go over a 1-1 draw. They're taking on Coventry City, who are a team who could potentially, sneak their way into the playoffs towards the end, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't. Some of the last few results they've had, draw at home to Hull, which ain't bad, but if you want to be, fighting for playoffs, you've got to really be trying to get a win there, in my opinion. They've got some good players, though. Jokered's a very good player. Hammer, he's a good player as well. away at Blackpool. Blackpool will be, bouncing really after that win. Obviously I did say if any of the bottom three, if any of them are to stay up, the ones that are currently in there, I do think it will be Blackpool. If you look at it right now, they are obviously sitting top of the bottom three. I want to say it's 4 points. Or it might be 5 actually. I'll try and have a look when this stops lagging and actually does it so I can see it. There we go. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so they're only 4 points off. They're only 4 points off of Cardiff. So it's going to be interesting, man. They're going to be bouncing. I don't think they'll quite win this one though. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I'm going to go for a 1-1, which isn't a bad result, but obviously preferably they'll try and get a win, to try and stay up. But yeah, I reckon they'll get a 1-1 draw. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gyökeres scores for Coventry. He's a very good player, man. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that one. Moving on to the next game, Middlesbrough versus Preston North End. Now, Middlesbrough need a win really to try and put the pressure on Sheffield United. They did draw midweek. I did watch that game. I was surprised. Even though Stoke have been on very good form, I was surprised still, especially given, Middlesbrough were at home. Back-to-back home games for them. Taking on Preston, who did get a win against Rotherham away, which I was surprised about. Fair play to them. But they're one of these teams that are just playing for pride, really, coming on to the later stages of the season. You could say, but then again, I think it's like that with them and Sunderland, to be honest. I think from Watford above are the teams fighting for the playoffs now, to be honest. So, yeah, as for a prediction here, Middlesbrough, like I said, need to bounce back. Preston actually do have a very good record. I think they're unbeaten in the last 3 against Middlesbrough. But I'm going to go for a Middlesbrough win in this one. I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 to Borough in this one. Let's go through some predictions. Coventry draw with Wigan, so I can see Blackpool beating them. I'm going 3-2 Paul. Yeah, fair enough. Borough 0-0 with Preston. Like I said, Preston do have a good record, so they could frustrate Middlesbrough. And if we won and Middlesbrough didn't, then obviously we would jump up to 3rd. So yeah, man, that would be good for us as well. But yeah, moving on to the next game, Millwall versus Huddersfield. Huddersfield, did get a draw against Norwich. I was surprised about. Don't think Norwich will, as much as they're just outside the playoffs, 4 points off, I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be in a battle still, coming on to the later stage of the season, but I don't think they'll quite get it. Decent point there for Huddersfield. Obviously, it was an own goal. Huddersfield didn't score themselves. They don't really create much. I still think they'll go down, definitely. I said that at the start of the season. They're taking on Millwall. Millwall tend to be decent at home this season. Obviously, they're a team fighting for the playoffs. They currently are in the playoffs, 6th place. And yeah, I think this is only going one way, to be honest, and that is a Millwall win. As for a score prediction, I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 to Millwall in this one. So yeah, that is my prediction for that. Make sure you do what Nightbot says if you haven't already, people. Subscribe to the extra channel if you haven't already. Just click on the link there. And then obviously don't forget to smash a like, all of that. Subscribe to the channel. And then Stephen says Huddersfield are in dire. Exactly. Millwall score fun 3-0. Hate saying that. I was thinking 3-0, but I'm going to go 2-0. Moving on to the next game, Reading versus Hull City. Now, Reading at home, they're 7th when it comes to home form in the whole of the league. They're taking on Hull City, who are quite inconsistent. I mean, they did lose, but they were midweek, but they were playing Burnley, so there's no shame in that. Taking on Reading. Reading are a better team at home than away, like I've just said. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for 1 apiece. I could maybe see Hull sneaking it, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 in this one. I did predict Reading to get a 1-1 in their last home game against Millwall, and they didn't. So hopefully this time, for my prediction, they do. Stephen's gone 2-1 to Hull, got a feeling. Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to the next game, obviously a team I don't like. Watford taking on Wigan. Now, obviously, Watford did win during midweek at home pretty emphatically against very hit and miss Birmingham side, very inconsistent, 3-0. Did say they'll win that game, and they actually did for once. Usually, when I predict them to win, they don't. They're taking on Wigan. I do think it's a favourable game for them to win, to be honest. Wigan have been better under the new manager, but, I just don't think they'll win this one. Obviously, Watford fighting to get in the playoffs. Did say at the start of the season, I think they'll just sneak in, and it could look that way, to be honest. I did say they'll finish 6th and just sneak in. So, yeah, as for a prediction, like I said, I think it's a favourable game, to be honest. I'm going to go 2 Watford in this one. So, yeah, that is my prediction for that one. Stephen's gone with a 1-1. I mean, that would be that'd be quite funny if that happened. But, yeah, I'm going to go over 2-0. I'll go over 2-0. I'm actually going to put the 0 in for Wigan whenever my laptop actually lets me do it. Because right now it's not doing it. Right, there we go. So, yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next game, Queen's Park Rangers versus Birmingham City. Now, both teams doing pretty poor. Obviously, QPR took that very heavy defeat. I don't want to know how their fans felt, even though I obviously don't like QPR. That would have been peak, especially midweek and all. Taking on Birmingham City, who obviously both teams took a heavy defeat. Both teams, I think they'll stay up just due to the fact there's worse teams than them. If you do have a look at the table, though, they are down there. Obviously, Birmingham at 18th, QPR 19th. Birmingham obviously above them due to a better goal difference. QPR at home, their last home game they did win, the first time in ages, against Watford as well, which was funny. Birmingham away obviously took a defeat, back-to-back away games for them. I'm actually going to back QPR to win this one, to be honest. I'm actually going to back them to win this one, given that they're at home. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1 prediction in this one. So, yeah. A comment, but I like your professionalism. QPR 1-1 with Brum. Yeah, I was going to say 1-1. But I think QPR might do it, to be honest. Birmingham, as much as they're above them, obviously only on goal difference. I feel Birmingham are more inconsistent, whereas QPR for a while just couldn't get a win until that Watford game, and it's at home again. So I'm going to back them. I'm going to back them to win. Me. God. Say every time. Every time, mate. So annoying. Oh, one sec, people. Right, there we go. It doesn't like me sharing my screen for a while, I swear. And then the camera always zooms in for some reason. But yeah, apologies about that. It's not really a lot I can do when that happens, to be honest. I'll try and share my screen again, but gonna need some good luck with that, I'll tell you that. But yeah, can't even remember what game I was on. Lucky enough, I've still got the that tab open. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, QPR, yeah. So I'm going to back QPR to win. I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 in that one to QPR. Moving on to the next game, Rotherham United versus Cardiff. Again, another big game at the bottom. Again, I mean, Cardiff, I think Cardiff might still go down, but then again, so could Rotherham. You know, obviously 4 points away, Blackpool are. And then obviously 5 away from Rotherham. This one's an interesting one. This one's a big game at the bottom again. Rotherham did lose midweek, like I said, to Preston. I was surprised about that. Taking on Cardiff. Cardiff not been too bad under the new manager. I'm actually gonna back Cardiff to get a win. Rotherham back-to-back home defeats. So I'm gonna go 1-0 to Cardiff in that one. So yeah, that is my prediction for that one. Moving on to the next game. Again, another very interesting game. Stoke City taking on Norwich City. Now, Norwich obviously took that defeat to Sunderland on the Sunday. I can't even remember what they done during the week. I can't even remember. What did they do during the week? I can't remember. Someone let me know. I actually can't remember what they've done during the week. Taking on Stoke, obviously got that good draw away against Middlesbrough. Stoke on really good form at the moment. Again, it's an interesting one with Stoke. Like, you look at it, what are they actually really playing for, except pride, really, I guess. They do, sit 14th, 47 points. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be making a late push for playoffs or anything like that. But I do back Stoke to win this, given the form they've been on. I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go 1-0 to Stoke in this one. Another 1-0 game. So, yeah. Stephen says, bottom of the table, clash. Rotherham, I believe, have a little more and we'll click into gear 2-1. Fair enough. Fair enough, mate. And Stoke on the beach. Yeah, sort of. But then again, they're on decent form, so they might just win this one. And then moving on to the last game. Obviously, them two bottom games, obviously, 25th of April, as you can see there, due to the rescheduled games, because obviously the FA Cup. Swansea City versus Bristol City. Now, this is sort of a derby. They have played quite a lot of times already, played each other in the FA Cup and that. It's the early kickoff on the Sunday. How do I see it going? Both teams, obviously, in this calendar year in the league, Bristol City obviously only lost twice. One of them games was obviously 2 Luton in midweek. Taking on Swansea, very inconsistent. Pressure on Russell Martin, but there's been pressure on him for ages and not really a lot's happened. So then again, is it pressure? Pressure maybe by the fans, but more than that, I don't think so. It's not looking that way at the moment. End of season, maybe. I'm going to go 1 apiece. I'm going to go 1 apiece in this one. I think both teams won't be able to cancel each other out. I'm going to go for a 1-1. So, yeah. If it was at Bristol, I'd probably back them to win. But given this at Swansea, it is sort of a derby. I'm going to go for a 1-1 in that one. So, yeah, they are my predictions. And Stephen's gone 2-0 to Swansea. Fair enough, mate. So, yeah, run through my predictions again. So, I've got Sunderland 1, Luton Town 2, Blackpool 1, Coventry City 1, Middlesbrough 2, Preston North End 1, Millwall 2, Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 1, Hull City 1, Watford 2, Wigan Athletic 0, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Birmingham City 1, Rotherham United 0, Cardiff City 1, Stoke City 1, Norwich City 0, Swansea City 1, Bristol City 1. To calculate a table, see what that would look like. Obviously, teams would start to have games in hand, like the top 2, for example. But obviously, they'd still be in their normal positions. Burnley obviously would be 13 points clear still. Middlesbrough would only be 3 points off of Sheffield United. Luton would only be 4 points off. Obviously, still a point behind Middlesbrough. Millwall 5th. So yeah, there's that. They would jump up a place. Yeah, they would, because obviously Blackburn would then have a game in hand. Watford 7th, so just outside the playoffs, 4 points off. Norwich 8th, West Brom 9th, Coventry City 10th, Preston 11th, Sunderland 12th, Stoke City 13th, Bristol City 14th, Hull City 15th, Reading 16th, QPR be good for them, they'd jump up 17th, Swansea City 18th, so they'd start being near there as well. Birmingham City 19th. I did say they'd finished there at the start of the season, I think, as well. Cardiff City 20th, Rotherham United just above the relegation zone. So that win for Cardiff would be good as well. And then obviously the bottom 3 remains the same in the same order. It just means Blackpool will be 4 points off Rotherham in the 21st. So yeah, that is the table. If the results go the way I think, we'll stop sharing my screen now, because you know what this likes to do. We'll try and stop sharing it. Oh, it's already done it itself anyway. I didn't even press it. But yeah, they are my championship predictions for week 38. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Make sure you do what Nightbot says if you haven't already. Obviously, subscribe to the extra channel if you haven't already. Link to that is in the description. And yeah, smash a like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell as well. That would be much appreciated, of course. And yeah, I'll be back again for the 3rd and final stream, which is obviously the Hatter Show, 25 minutes from now. So yeah, make sure you do tune into that. Obviously, me and Dad will talk about the Bristol City game. And then obviously we will get into another big game tomorrow. Every game now coming on to the later stage of the season is massive, especially for what we want to try and achieve. So yeah, we will see what goes on in them. And obviously we'll get more into it there as well. So yeah, make sure you do tune into that if you can. I know a few people watch this back on playback as well. So don't forget to smash a like there as well. And do subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, you want to follow me across any of my socials, obviously link to them are in the description. We are currently on 4 likes, so let's definitely get that up. That would be much appreciated. And let's just get it up there. Let's get the channel out there, get the algorithm going. And yeah, that would be boss. So yeah, I'll be back in for the Hat Show at 7. So yeah, hopefully I'll see many of you there. And until next time, take care and peace.